This is the Star News Brief. I'm Joeli Regi. Azimio leader Raila Odinga's move to shelve countrywide protests for dialogue has triggered disquiet in his opposition camp, with some questioning the plight of injured supporters. There's growing feeling amongst the opposition leaders that the bipartisan approach that ended 2 weeks of intense mass action is fashioned to only address the issue of reconstitution of the Electoral Commission. The deal is quiet on the fate of the victims of the chaotic protests. At least 4 suffered gunshot wounds. Get a copy of the Star e-paper for only 40 shillings by logging on to www.mgazzetti.com. The opposition, led by Raila Odinga, now says they need broad-based dialogue with the William Ruto administration that will involve players beyond parliament. In a statement on Tuesday evening, just a day after a ceasefire with the government that ended the bloody mass action, the Azimio leadership says the talks with the government should mirror the 2008 National Accord. In 2008, Raila and then-President Mwai Kibaki formed an 8-member team that recommended far-reaching constitutional reforms that eventually led to the formation of the Grand Coalition government. Police in Nyamira are investigating the death of an 11-year-old girl whose body was found in a well in her grandmother's compound 5 days after she was reported missing. The grade 6 pupil at Ekoro Primary School in Nyamira South was reported missing on March 29th after she was sent by her grandmother, with whom she lived with, to collect a debt. The money had been borrowed by a neighbor in Tinga village. She never returned. Most parts of the country will receive near-average rainfall in April and May, but remain generally dry in June, the weatherman has said. However, Western Kenya and the coast will continue to have rain throughout the 3 months. Head of the Meteorological Department, David Gikungu, said April will be the peak rainy month for most counties, except the coast, where the rains will be highest in May. The cost of fertility treatment in Kenya is out of reach for most people who need it, possibly up to 16% of the population, the World Health Organization says. The WHO said fertility solutions, including the popular in vitro fertilization, remain underfunded and inaccessible to many due to high costs, social stigma, and limited availability in most developing countries. The average cost of IVF in Nairobi is 500,000 shillings for one cycle, according to publicly listed costs by various fertility clinics. Get a copy of the Star e-paper for only 40 shillings by logging on to www.mgazzetti.com.